our ancestors were smart. They knew about waves and they knew how to operate waves. How do we know that our ancestors, our African ancestors were smart about waves? But we know that because first and foremost they taught us creation, and as they taught us creation, they also left information, and that we know that creation involves 4 levels. And the top level, they called it Nikadzimu. And this one, they called it the laws of creation. And this one is the universe. And then we have got the 3rd dimension. So Nikadzimu is what scientists now call the abstract. And we shall borrow this as we proceed with our explanation. So they also told us that in the 3rd dimension, that's where the soul lives or comes to live. And the soul lives in a physical body of flesh and the blood. So we shall call the combination of the soul and the physical body the Muntu, derived from the Bantu. But we know that this soul is a 9-fold soul, and this 9-fold soul is what people commonly call soul or spirit. Some would want to call it human spirit, but we call it spirit. And this 9-fold soul has this word to go along with it. These are the components of the 9-fold soul, or 9-fold soul spirit. Ka, Kati, Ba, Ab, Kaiviti, Ku, Sekem, Renyu. Now, we say 1, Ka, 2, Kati, Ba, 3, Ab, 4, Kaiviti, 5, Ku, 6, Sekem, 7, Sahu, we left Sahu, 8, Renyu, 9. Renyu, we can quickly say, is also to do with your name. Quickly alert, and all these we know these are parts and aspects of the souls, and these live inside you as vibrations, and already when we say vibrations, we have already brought in the form of waves, which is an aspect of frequencies. Right, an aspect of frequencies. Now, this whole system that we have spoken about, we have demonstrated here, the Muntu, this whole, the soul and the physical flesh. We shall give it this code 2 as we go further. So we've got the 2 now comprising of all that, and then 2 now, right, dwells in the earth. Let's come here, that's better. Dwells in the earth. So there we have the 2 there in the earth, and the earth has these elements connected with the earth, very important elements. The earth, fire, water, air, and the chemicals. You already see chemistry. Chemicals, which is the normally called the earth, which are the elements like you have magnesium, calcium, carbon, melanin, all that. So the two is inside a situation like that, of the whole system like that. And now what we want to do and to come to is to ask the question, a number of questions now, of like who is God. We're using God here in protest. So we will simply say that God equals Mskabantu. And this word Musika means steerer, meaning the totality of waves, all the waves or all the frequencies. So God is the whole waves, all the waves. Now we come back here and we say, we borrow this now into another section, and keep in mind where we have come from. So we have that. Right? We've got here, this is abstract, or all waves, or massless waves, abstract. Then we've got laws of creation. Then you've got the universal. And then you've got the third dimension. And the third dimension, we have got now this whole component. Now, this one, right? Of which is the two with all of that, and also the earth with all of that. So we call all this U. Right? So we got the U here. And now, remember what is the U now. I'll put here the U so it simplifies everything, because otherwise it will be complicated. But remember about that. So we got here fire. Right? We got fire. We got water. We've got air. And we've got chemicals here. I'll just say chem. Now, and we know that the abstract, this is the total waves. So it's called TW here to simplify everything. So our question is, we got two questions that we have to deal with and to answer those two questions. How does one receive from this TW their desires of the heart, their needs, their wants, their wishes, health, happiness, anything that they want. All right? How do they receive that from here? And they are all here in the world, in the third dimension, third D. So what we know is that there is this world that connects all this with you, but they go through this charging, and this world is the world of waves. So what we have to understand and accept is that there are systems that our ancestors and sages taught us, and these systems create waves, and it is only through waves, right, that you can be able to connect into the universal world. You cannot go there, and because the total waves created all the laws of creation, which are all here, where the interaction with the universe will bring, via the spiritual realm, will bring everything to the universal world. And once you are able to create that vibration, that wave, it will simply go there. So what you only need to do is to make sure that your needs are tuned to the frequency of the wave of fulfillment of needs that dwells here. Here needs fulfillment. But the needs fulfillment in here is also a positive and a negative. That's energy. So positive means it has been fulfilled. Negative, it means it has not been fulfilled. And all of that, and it is now, we're already here in the chemicals of hydrogen. So, we've got the systems that are in place already, and these systems are libation, incense burning. These are the systems our ancestors used. We've got invocation, fasting, which we normally associate with prayer. Then we've got the last one, which is what our desire. So we go to these. These are the systems, the emotional systems, or the things that the tools that we have that are inside us, that were put already inside us, but manifest as either these. So the tools that we were given is fire, water, air. By the way, air is a spirit, moya, and then we've got the chems. All right, which to quickly summarize it is earth or matter. So there we are now. All right. So what we only need to do now here is for us to simply find the vibrational frequencies of all those things and those four elements that we know constitute the earth. Has to do with the universal laws of feminine energy and the masculine energy that made you. And this, the connection of here is that totem, and that's you. So this is your status now. All right? That has to be connected to that, has to be connected to the frequencies, and it requires the fulfillment by the universal law, by invoking what the principles were put there. We know that the fire we have here is the actual fire, which is emotions. Right? Emotions. And then you can use the emotions properly, proper emotions, and your bodily emotions to have to create your waves. And the water, we know that is connected with the libation. So you can activate your water, and when you activate it, you pour that water into the earth, it creates waves. And then you've got the spirit, which is the air, and we know that you can invoke and evoke your spirit via intonations, or whispers, by talking. And then you got the earth, which is the produce, which could be fruits, which you cut, vibrate, boil, or anything to create waves. So we are all able to create waves. So once you create waves, you know they'll go there because you are carbon, they are activated, and then they arrive there. That's all you need. So that's why they say, tell everything that you need to the universe and it will give you. So now let's quickly summarize here and say how, and ask the question how do we really infuse these waves. Right? So we have already seen that libation, incense burning, which is fire, incense burning, invocation, evocation, fasting, and also desire. We have already seen that these all dwell inside a human being, dwell inside you, and they are connected to you, around you. They are all around you. They are inside you, and you are in the third dimension. So you are in the third dimension. You want to access the universal so that the universal can also lead you to receive from the laws of creation. You do not deal with the higher level. So what you do is you imprint water for libation, incense for burning, earth for fruits, and a desire with intense focus. So once you do this, you create waves. So how do you create waves? Through libation. You take your gourd full of water, you shake it, then you pour it into the earth. And once you pour it in the earth, it must have a deposit of what you want. So you sit down and you say, hang on, I need a brand new car. So you close your eyes like what I have just done. You draw the car that you want. And then you put your sign there, it's a Mercedes Benz. And then you open your eyes, you see your car. And then you describe it fully. Then once you describe it fully, you take it, connect it with either libation, incense burning, prayer, or desire. So when you check that water, you are closed, your eyes are closed, your ancestors are there, your totem is there, yourself is there, the earth is there, the universe is waiting, and you speak and you want to receive it. You speak positively that you want to receive it. Sometimes you don't need to speak, sometimes you just have to do it. And then you pour it on the earth, and it goes there with waves. This is what our ancestors demonstrated and taught us. So we hope that we have shared with you all that which we think is necessary. Subscribe to our channel, Hamiti, Iburu, Ethics. This is priest teacher, Rabbi, LM, Dunizo, signing off. Thank you, goodbye.